in the fam. All in the fam. Come on. It's all in the fam. All in the fam. Come on. Now get your hands up. 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 It's all in the fam. All in the fam. Come on. Come on. Come on.
And welcome to the very first episode of All in the Fam Season 4, Audiophiles of Chicago. It's your girl, Kamari.
And your girl, Brianna.
And today's guest, we have the great King Melik, also my cousin, in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Pew, pew, pew. I got the applause. I got the applause.
There we go. There we go. We're working on it. We're working on our soundboard, y'all. So how you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. It's nice to be here with some family, answering some questions. So it's going to be more of a personal level type interview. So I'm excited. For
Absolutely.
Sure.
All right. So let's get right into it. So now we're going to get into the origin. So how did you come up with the name King Melik?
So King Melik, Melik is actually my middle name, and I was doing some searching, and I was looking up, Melik and what it meant, and it meant king, actually. And I liked it because King Melik, so king, so it had a ring to it, so I just wanted to keep up with that. So yeah.
So for those who don't know, what's your first name?
My first name's Bryce Melik Thompson. That's my first
That's
name.
a solid name.
Bryce Melik Thompson.
Yeah.
It's funny because now I think Bryce is not a bad name for an artist, but I don't know, Bryce Thompson and Bryson Tiller sounds kind of...
Yeah, I was about to say
kinda,
that too. Too close.
Yeah, too close.
Yeah.
No. Okay, King.
Yeah.
Okay, King.
Appreciate it.
So what separates you from other artists? In your own words, how would you say that?
I would say my background definitely plays a part. Being a classically trained violinist, I think I had a edge in creating melodies and different harmonies. So I have, not only the sound, I actually have the theory and the landscape of formulating notes and things together. So you said I can curse, right? And shit.
And shit, Axton.
Yeah.
So because of your classical background, what made you want to get into rap? Because that's completely different. I mean, they have good aspects where I must say myself, when Keith Chief did Finito with the violinist, that shit was cold as hell. So I mean, it's not like they can't be intertwined, but they are separate.
Lizzo and the flute.
Yeah. Oh, that could be your thing.
Maybe.
I mean, you should start bringing the violin back out. But yeah, what made you want to get into rapping?
Yeah, so I actually hated rap when I was growing up as a kid. Yeah, because anytime my sister would play it in the car, she would have it blasting. It would be terrifying. I'm like, oh my God, can she just relax? But I don't know, just getting to know artists a lot more than kind of deciphering that these are actual stories and people are actually telling their lives via music. So meeting people some pretty great people like Smino or Chance, it really meant a lot, especially knowing them personally and then performing it on a wide scale. So that's how I got into it. I love the storytelling. And it's funny you said that because I have been combining violin and rapping in these last couple studio sessions. So
I definitely want to see it more.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know, but we went to the same church, and they would always get called up, you and your brother, and they would do these solos, and it would be so good. They would low key be better than some of the people in the actual band. So it was just I want to see more of that because I feel like a lot of people don't do that. And the last time I seen a violinist really in the hip hop field was when Twista did. I believe that was Overnight Celebrity, and Kanye did that, and they brought that one violinist in. I can't remember her name, but she's cold as hell. Right. That's the only time I would really see them do an actual violinist within music. So I think you should take it. And you got Lizzo with the flute.
Yeah, for sure.
Take it with your violin and do some.
Yeah, I tried. I experimented a little bit with on the last track of my EP, and it was nice, but. These last couple weeks I've been trying to incorporate into some more fast, upbeat stuff that I know people actually want to listen to.
Do you have to keep training every day with that?
With violin?
Yeah, to keep up, because I know
Or is it like riding a bike? You never forget how to.
I'm gonna say both. I mean, even when I was like in orchestra and symphonies and things to that nature, I hated practicing. Well, everybody's like practice every day, and I hated practicing every day. I like practicing, but not every day. So I mean, yes and no. So no. Will I ever forget how to play violin? Probably not. But if I want to keep sharpening my craft, I do have to do it pretty often.
So if we passed you a violin right now, you'd be able to play it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
We don't have one.
Okay, I was ready. I was ready.
Mr. Krabs.
So, what was the transition from? Because you said you didn't really listen to rap music.
Yeah.
So, what was that transition that got you into rap music? Who was that inspiration?
Believe it or not, it was a lot of underground artists. Like I believe it was Hoodie Allen.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
I have. I haven't heard of him in a minute since like high school.
Yeah, Hoodie Allen. He was like an underground guy who had like this one song called "No Interruption," and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. Like, oh my gosh. So when I met him, I think maybe 6 months into like messing with rap and just seeing how stand up of a guy he was, I'm like, this is an actual person. Like, I can relate with this person. It was just, I don't know. It just added to that whole storytelling of rap, and these are real people like telling their stories, and I wanted to do that. And like even Mac Miller and Black Bear, I was just into that.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace to the GOAT. But yeah.
So how would you now describe the music that you typically create? Because it's not like, I don't think it's like those artists. I think you have a different sound for sure. So what would you say your type of music is like? What is that? What is King Melik's sound?
So it's so funny you said this, because I just started releasing my latest single as an alternative genre. I don't think it's rap. I don't think it's R&B. I think it's a mixture of both and experimental vibes. But I don't know. I think I'm rocking with that alternative genre right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I always thought of like alternative, like emo, like. Right.
Alternative and emo are two.
Is it? So what is it? What did it used to be then?
So there's alternative just means it's a subset of the actual genre. So you have hip hop and then you have alternative hip hop. Right. So hip hop you have Jay-Z, Kanye, and let's say alternative hip hop would be maybe arguably Tyler the Creator or going down that realm.
So what was the alternative that's associated with like the emo shit? So is that like an alternative of? I'm sorry, emo people. We talk about y'all a lot.
I don't really know emo, but like there's alternative rock and there's alternative
pop.
so
maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
alternative rock.
So alternative rock would be Paramore.
They praise that a lot more than just alternative hip hop. So when we hear hip hop, they just put all of that in like one category.
And I never associated myself even now as a rapper, because I don't really rap that often. Like even in my EP, I maybe rapped on 1 or 2 songs, and it was still classified as a hip hop EP. And just because I'm black doesn't mean I'm a rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like how Tyler Creator's Igor was dubbed as. He got a Grammy for like best rap album. When you listen to Igor, it's not rap.
Exactly.
That's alternative hip hop, So
because he's black.
But yep.
All right. So getting into Fantasy and your singles, tell us about Fantasy. What was the creative process with that project?
Yeah, Fantasy was basically literally about the fantasies I want in my life that I want to achieve. Finding love. Being successful, making my family proud. It was just a combination of different goals and different achievements I wanted to take on and putting them all on individual songs. So that was basically the entire premise of Fantasy. Yeah.
That's dope. I like that it has like a theme.
Yeah.
I like when people do that with their albums. It's not just a bunch of songs together.
Yeah.
Like
it's not a mixtape.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So how was it incepted? So first of all, like speak about the name.
Fantasy.
So why Fantasy?
Fantasy, it's I wanted a name that people don't really say all the time. Like I didn't really want album named Goals or Achievements or something like that. I wanted something that had a little bit more pizzazz to it, and actually I was deciding what to name the project, but I was looking at some old footage of my late great uncle Eugene Record, who was a part of the Shylights, a legendary band in Chicago, and I was looking at this interview, and he was actually answering a question. And he was just saying his songwriting process and putting himself in different fantasies. And when he said that, I was like, dang, I like that. I mess with that. And I actually put him in the intro of the entire EP. So that's the first voice you'll hear on the project. Yeah.
Cool. All right, keeping it in the bloodline.
Of course, of
so,
course.
Have you performed anything on Fantasy?
Have I performed?
Yeah. Anything on Fantasy? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, with the pandemic and everything, I didn't know if that kind of put an end or stopped you from performing it. What was your favorite song to perform?
Favorite song to perform? I'm going to say Without Me, because I got to perform with my best friends on TV, and that was probably one of the more fun experiences that we all had, because we all grew up watching that show.
What TV show?
Wendy's to Do Live.
Oh,
yeah. So we all grew up watching that show, seeing our favorite artists on that show. So once we got that call, we were like geeked out, super excited. So, Without Me is basically about, not doing what everybody else does, not, going to parties, not going. Even for me, I didn't go to college, and a lot of my friends did go to college, and that was definitely an option for me, especially as a classical violinist who, applied for colleges and getting interest in colleges and choosing a different route. It's basically just going, without everybody else. So, yeah, that song and performing it live on television, it meant a lot. Yeah, for sure.
That's great. So how was it working with the features on the project? Is there anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah. Shout out Wimmy Mo. Shout out Heartbreak P. They're all doing some great things right now. And Bianca Shaw. And, there was just a lot of different people I, really had fun working with. They're all doing their own respective things. And yeah, a combination of all that talent in Chicago and even Detroit, Milwaukee, that's where one of the artists is from.
Don't mix those up.
Yeah,
Detroit gonna get mad.
For real.
Like Milwaukee.
Those artists are crazy. So yeah, it was a lot of fun for sure.
So what was it like? Like, did you all come together and do it in the studio together, or did you do it like separately and then?
For this project, it was all separate. Yeah, for this project, it was definitely all separate, and they just sent me their verses, and we kept it at that. Now I like doing a lot of personal things, because Fantasy, I think it's pretty old, considering how everybody drops a project probably at least once a year, and then that project was back from 2018, so I didn't really know and have the funds to really record with different people, so everybody just sent in their verses.
Well, it's funny that you brought that up, that was such an old project, which it doesn't have like an old sound to it. It still sounds pretty,
yeah, I appreciate it.
Up to date. So that's good that it has, some longevity to it. But why has it been so long since you released another like full length project?
Yeah, that's a great question. In 2020, I planned on doing that because I had all these events lined up. I had all these different things I was ready to accomplish and stride on with my band. Doing stuff with Radio Disney, doing stuff, opening
Radio
Disney.
I was
just about to bring that up. I didn't know if we could bring that up, so
Yeah.
that's why I didn't say anything. But I know you had like a conversation with my mom, and you were trying to like figure out what you should do, or like just advice from people that you respect. And she brought it to me, and I was like, well, I think he should do it. Like if he feels it, but just make sure that you have like some type of boundaries, because Disney has a way of like bringing people down to where you only have to be like a Disney kid. You're not necessarily somebody
I felt that. And it's I won't go into detail for all the way, because I don't want to
contractual.
Yeah. But the pandemic just offset a lot of things, and I had a lot of stuff lined up, so I couldn't do the things I wanted to do. And I didn't want to settle. I didn't want to look back on it and be like, oh, I could have done this, or oh, I should have done that. So, and I wanted to build up my fan base before I dropped another project. I wanted people to care about it. I didn't want people to say, oh, this dude is super underrated. I wanted people to be like, oh, he finally dropped again.
So what was it like during that time of 2020 when all of that stuff didn't fall through because of the pandemic and everything? Like, what were you doing creatively to keep yourself going, like, or your juices flowing so you don't, become stagnant?
Oh my God. Like, the pandemic was like crazy. Like, the first week was, cool because I got to stay inside and like play 2K and stuff. Like, I was just, having a good time with my boys. Then the second week and events got canceled, and I'm like, oh shit.
Once they shut down the NBA, we were like, oh, it's real.
Yeah.
When Tom Hanks got COVID, we were like, it can get everybody.
Yeah, because they were like, oh yeah, like the first month they was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
The second month they was like, all right now.
Yeah.
The third month they was like, okay, when the fuck can we go outside? Like
Exactly.
I can't be inside anymore.
No, it was pretty scary. So I tried to keep creating music, tried to keep creating my, things. And it's crazy because it was like February, no, my meeting with Radio Disney was March 2nd of 2020.
Wow.
Like 3 weeks before the shutdown.
And like they say, hey, we want you to come back. We want you to bring your band, doing this, doing that. I'm like, bet. I get off the phone with my mom, off the FaceTime call. We're like super excited. And I get back to Chicago. We're starting to plan the meetings and this, that, and the third. And then everything shut down. And I'm like, what is happening? And it made me question, like, am I supposed to be doing this? Is this a sign that I'm supposed to be doing something else? Like, it was terrifying for me. But, I'm just trusting God and just trusting, my art. And just trusting that everything's going to be all right.
What were you supposed to do at Radio Disney?
If you can disclose that information.
Yeah, if you can.
I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to say, but I can say it was a lot of one-on-one stuff.
Okay. Gotcha.
One-on-one stuff with how I was just supposed to just take place in, performing mostly.
Okay.
And, whatever grew off of that, would have grown off of that. But, I'm still in contact with them. And as things are still opening up, because we're still, it's not over. COVID is definitely not over yet.
All these damn variants.
Exactly. So, we still got, we'll see. I want to keep my, card full. Like, I'm not just going to be bound to one company, you know what I'm saying? So, just keeping going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there a song that resonated you off of Fantasy, or a song that you really enjoyed making, or had a certain type of sentiment towards you?
Yeah, I think Without Me is probably my number one, because how going against the crowd was pretty prevalent for me. And I'll also say the last song, and that's My Rose, my grandma's lullaby, because it's actually about mental health. And she lost her battle to her mental illness via taking her own life. And I wanted to make a song about that, just to honor it, because mental health doesn't just affect one person; it affects the entire family, your friends, your community. So just knowing somebody might have lost that way can change somebody's entire life. So it's prevalent to me. It's relevant to what I do and what I go through. So I just wanted to make a song that showcase that a little bit.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
So let's get into 6 a.m. on Stony Island. You dropped that March 23rd. How did that feel to drop that after not, dropping something for like, a minute? Like, how did that feel?
Yeah, it felt good. Now that's a song where I rapped. And, like I said, I don't do a lot of rapping, but it was fun. It was fun to, make a song that, you can listen to in the gym, or, you playing ball. And, you just hear that and, hype yourself up a little bit. But, yeah, it was nice to drop, for sure. It was fun. I like what people have been doing on TikTok. Like, they'll, like, post their pre-glow-ups and then their glow-ups on the beat drop of my song. So it's always, cool and interesting to
That's
see
good.
that.
Keep sharing that, because TikTok is...
Oh, yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Make sure you get
gotta
your
figure that
coins,
out.
too.
Right.
Absolutely. Register for all those licensing sites. Yep.
So what was behind that song? Like, what made you want to create that one and drop that?
So yeah, I've been working out a lot more because life has been low key kicking my ass, especially since COVID. And like it's stressful. Everybody was stressed out. I don't think I'm the only person who was stressed out during COVID, but it was like, dang, I just want to find a way to take out this anger and this stress somewhere, and that was the gym. And I've been trying to get my body right, feel good, look good, and the song is basically about going through it a little bit, and you're just at the gym kicking it, just trying to muscle it out.
That's crazy. I don't know how y'all do it. Like I'll go to the gym.
I'm a gym head too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
See, I could do sports. When I played sports in like high school or when I was in grade school, like that was cool. But like
it's definitely because I never liked lifting.
Routine.
Yeah, because I was an athlete, and then when I went to college, had the freshman 25, and then COVID. I was like, nope, not going back to that freshman 25. Yeah. So it's like you really have to get in the mindset of going to the gym.
Like,
how much you deadlift?
Deadlift? I haven't done a deadlift in a minute, but I will say
my competitive ass.
Okay, anything you do, I'm gonna try to put 10 pounds on. So I'm that competitive. So
my max was 190. It's kind of weak.
Okay, I mean, I'm not to flex or anything.
Literally, that little ass 190.
I think I did 200 one time. But I don't really do that a lot. Like I'm still nowhere where I want to be.
Got you.
It's time for you to up it up, Brianna.
I'm just messing. I do, for real. I'm weak.
Like she ain't comparing it.
I know. I'm about to go to the gym after this. I'm like,
he's like, well, I beat that shit already. So.
Yeah, well, it's nice that you made something that you can actually hear of yourself in the gym, because I know it might get tiring of hearing Katy Perry and shit like that.
Yeah.
They don't really have good music in there.
You gotta have your headphones. I don't think I've ever worked out and listened to the music that they were playing.
I left mine one time and I was like, I don't think I can do it.
Yeah.
I said, let me just go and do this treadmill real quick and go home, because
I felt that.
But let's get into the personnel.
Moving through quick.
Personal.
I mean, he's professional,
right?
Not to say nobody else on the season is professional. It's just we're rolling through it today.
We family. It's a little different vibe.
A little different. So, as let's say an artist, tell us your opinion on what qualities you think an artist should possess creatively, because you have a lot of people out here that are up and coming artists, but they're either not putting the work in, or they don't know what they're doing, or they're looking at somebody else's blueprint and don't know how to make their own. So what would you say are some qualities that they need to possess to be able to be or put out like these creative projects?
Yeah, I'm gonna say determination is definitely the number one thing. I feel like a lot of people get like knocked down, and whether that's via music, whether that's being discouraged by other artists and other successes, because my entire life I wanted to be this teenage sensation of doing X, Y, and Z before 19, 18, and now I look back, I'm 20 years old and I'm still not at the level I want to be. Obviously, I'm farther where I was when I was 18, 17 years old when I first started, but you have to be determined. You have to be. And that's more than just, scrolling on TikTok and seeing a 16-year-old artist blow up or get 100,000 likes or something. If life is kicking your ass, you get into it with your family, you get into it with your friends, or, a school assignment is due. Like, the grind literally does not stop, because, I went through it a few months and I saw it affect my numbers. I saw it affect my likes. I saw it affect my play. So that determination to just keep going and turn that, beat down into, all right, that means I got to go harder that's pretty much everything.
I like how you're vulnerable about it too, because you don't post a lot on Instagram, but you did have it where you did have like this breakthrough moment when you heard your song on the radio for the first time, I think.
Yeah.
So that was something that was, good to share and uplifting for other people to see, for sure.
For sure. That was crazy. Shout out Hot Rod.
So what are some of the trials and tribulations that you had to go through? In terms of getting your music out there?
Oh, yeah. Just Like in terms of releasing or anything
Yeah.
like that?
Or just any struggles of being a musician in Chicago.
Yeah. When a lot of people hear, Chicago artists, they, think rap or trap music or something like that. Or drill. Yeah. So, separating myself and being taken seriously will sometimes be, I don't know, kind of, downing a little bit because you're like in a room full of people who kind of don't make what you make. But I had to kind of flip it and, that's kind of uplifting that nobody really does music the way I do music. You know what I mean? Like, having that background I do and, making the music I want to. Like, I want to make music for the radio. I want to make music for commercials. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, that's what makes me happy. So, besides that, seeing your gigs get canceled a week after you booked them, especially back, a couple years from now, probably hurt, but, you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
How do you deal with comparisons? Because I would say, like, listening to your music, I'm pretty sure people can hear there might be, like, some Uzi comparisons or anything like that. So how do you deal with that and trying to just make sure that you, King Melik, shines and they don't hear these other artists that they might compare you to?
My versatility, because I know that people can't sound like Uzi and then sound like, you're Beethoven the next minute after that. So I hear them and I acknowledge them because I get inspiration from Lil Uzi and Tory Lanez and Travis Scott's of the world, but I know that they can't do what I do, and I'm humbly speaking here because I want to implement my own style and I hope I sound different from anybody else, and I think that versatility factor in myself I just ride on a lot.
So we know in the music game, collaboration is like key.
Right.
But having like this type of mentorship will take your career from here to like, offspring.
Absolutely.
So like, let's say Drake and Wayne or, Kanye and Jay-Z.
Right.
We know that you kind of have a mentorship with Chance. Like, tell us about that. Like, how's that?
Yeah, go ahead and flex.
Yeah, please.
So me and Chance met when he was doing his Harold Washington open mics, and he mentored quite a few of us at Harold Washington because he believed in us, and that was obviously the best feeling ever. Somebody, especially at that level of his career back in 2017, Grammys and headlining Lollapalooza, like, and then that dude listening to your songs and dancing to your songs, it's like, a crazy thing. And he'll call me to open up for him with my violin or get some people together for a social works event or something like that. Or Justin, shout out Justin, he'll call me up to do an event. So that mentorship is something I hold very dear to my heart. It's actually his birthday. Happy birthday, Chance.
Happy birthday, Chance.
So,
when this airs, it's not gonna be your
it's
birthday.
probably not gonna be your birthday.
But happy birthday.
Right now it's April 16th.
Yeah, so I really, really respect Chance and him being vulnerable with me just as a mentor, as a friend, as a somebody I take a lot of inspiration from. It means a lot for sure.
So technically, I can say I know Chance adjacent. So I'd be like, yeah, I know Chance.
He's
Through my
like,
friend's
no.
cousin.
He's gonna be like, no, nigga, I don't. Were you at the God's Child event that he had?
I was not. I was not at that,
man.
but I know it was at the Museum of Contemporary Arts,
Yeah,
right?
I believe
yeah,
so.
One of them.
It looked beautiful.
Yeah,
it looked beautiful.
the creative direction with the video and
Absolutely.
like the marketing of everything.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, the painting, the artwork.
Yeah,
everything,
artwork is-
everything to a T. Yeah. for
I
sure.
love how people are like tying artwork into their music now, just more not beyond the cover album.
Absolutely.
But they're like really telling a story with it because you can really combine both of them. You got the different colors, and colors can have different retrospects in the music and tell a different story there too. So
Believe it or not, that hinders me from dropping music because I always think about the cover art, and I don't want to just drop anything. You know what I mean? Like, and
you have
even
good cover art though.
I appreciate it, and I really care about it because I want to be able to drop something on Instagram and confidently be able to promote it. I don't want to drop anything bogus or tacky looking. You know what I mean? And I have a lot of music, and sometimes I'm like, dang, I don't know what direction I want to go in. So
When you're confused in the direction you want to go, do you get advice from like Chance? Is that somebody that you can go to like and be like, look, I'm stuck here. Can I get your feedback on that? Or is that, do you all have like a different type of relationship to where it's like when he's in town, that's when you can let him know everything and then.
Yeah, usually when he's in Chicago, we'll see each other at an event, and like for perfect example, I love to perform, and I wanted to enhance my performances. So, and there's a video somewhere, I can find it, but I asked him like, hey, how do you perform with auto-tune and reverb at the same time? And he just broke it down for me, saying, hey, you need to get this DAW, plug it in, get your set up, and he was explaining it to me. So I'm confident and completely comfortable for asking him for advice. I'm a person who doesn't like asking for help, and I like figuring things out myself, and that's something I probably have to work on, especially in this industry. Yeah, but he's definitely somebody I can ask, like, hey, how do I do this or how do I do that? So, for sure.
Okay. So I want to go back to mental health, because I know you mentioned that in the last section when you were talking about your grandmother and how you made that song. So unfortunately, mental health is so taxing in the music industry.
Absolutely.
And it's become so normalized that we're numb to it. So you think about Mac, you think about Juice WRLD, Kurt Cobain. It's just really, really sad to see. But they use their platforms to talk about their mental health problems.
Yeah.
So where do you see your role in that conversation within the music industry? Would you ever use your platform to speak up on that? Would you have a project around mental health, anything?
Yeah, raising awareness is definitely something I'm very confident and passionate about. Like I said, just getting that effect and that hit on our family, it happened maybe almost 2 decades ago, or maybe a little bit more than 2 decades ago, and it still affects us to this day. So, something like mental health isn't a 1 day or 2 day or one project thing here or one project thing there type of thing. It's something that has to be, branded within yourself, and I want that to be a part of my brand. I want people to be able to, listen to my music and, feel okay. I want them to, think about somebody romantically, or think about somebody, or party it up to my music. But there's definitely an aspect of hurt and pain and uprisings that I do want to display. And with this project now, it's funny you say that I'm working on. I want to get a little bit more personal with my music, and I was listening, like me and my friend Gabby, we were kind of laughing because I'm like, man, I'm making some really like personal, deep music that I thought I would, make when I was a little older, not at the age of 20, you know what I mean? But life has been, being life, and I had to express that and get that outlet in some type of way, and it was music for me. So I see myself getting a lot more personal, and including mental health in my projects.
Do you have some people that you listen to help you just get like a segue of how you want to go about that in terms of letting out your vulnerability? I do. Billie Eilish is a really, really talented person. I love Billie. My friend Gabby actually showed me this music video. I think it's called When the Party's Over. I always heard the song. I always heard it, but I never watched the video. And I saw it, and I was just like, wow. And she told a story without any dialogue, without any other characters in the music video or anything. I just understood it or interpreted it in my way. So listening to her, listening to Kendrick, Drake, because I'm
the amount of times. So even though this is the first episode that y'all listening to, this is like what the 4th podcast we recorded.
Yes,
everybody has brought up Drake
or
Saba.
We got a whole fan club. At this point, we just need to put all the clips together and just send it to
Drake.
I mean, like you need to just show up to Chicago and just meet all these.
Drake is my favorite artist.
Maybe he can sing Chicago freestyle.
Hey, that's
all
of
them will go crazy and fall out. Like we're not responsible for any medical bills once y'all hit the ground.
Man,
but yeah.
Oh my God, I love Drake. Drake is, and he's not. So I hate it when people love to call themselves interesting and say Drake is overrated, or Drake nobody listen, or I don't listen to Drake. I'm like, okay, like that's fine. But in my opinion, he's like up there with the greats. Absolutely, no question about it. Just the level of consistency.
I think so,
and
too.
The quality of his music. Like, he can make those hits and then, talk deep and get into his personal life, or then sing the next track later. So there's not a lot of artists who can do that. So
That's true.
So, if you didn't become an artist, what would, well, that's your artist name. So, what would Bryce be doing now?
Bryce would probably be doing something with film, or film, because I did a lot of filmmaking when I was younger with my little siblings, Mia and Bruce. So we were making like skits here and there. I know you.
Bryce and Bruce. Oh, that's so cute.
Yes.
Bryce and Bruce and Mia and Deanna. We would always make these skits. We started with Vine back when Vine was popping.
Yup.
We had making all those Vines and YouTube videos, and it was great. It was great. So I would
Heavily
probably be doing
actor.
something with film. Yeah.
So, go ahead.
No, I was gonna
Because
say,
I
would
just
you be
lost.
more behind the scene or behind the camera or in front of the camera?
I mean, I like the attention, so I want to say in front of the camera.
Be bold with it, yeah.
But I do love editing.
Yeah.
I do like editing. Like, I mix master on my tracks to this day because I trust myself, and I know if I don't like something, I can just simply fix it or learn how to fix it. So, I'm gonna say a healthy mix of both.
Okay. So you said you have another project that you're working on.
Yeah.
Can you tell us any idea of when you plan to drop it?
Yeah, definitely.
Don't get too much away.
Right. I can't say this year for sure, but I'm aiming for this year because I just feel like it's time. When I dropped Fantasy, I got a lot of success from it, or success in my book. Success in my case for it as an upcoming artist. And, I want to keep that momentum coming, but I want people to, care about it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Looking forward to it.
For sure.
Well, now we're going to get into the fun part of the episode, which is our top 5. So let me grab our handy dandy.
You want to
Flower.
explain to them what top 5 is?
Oh, that's right,
This
because
is the first
this
episode?
is the first episode. We've been
Okay.
recording so much, y'all. Y'all know we do pre-production. So, in every episode, we ask our guests to come in and put their hand in this handy dandy flower vase because we couldn't find anything else. So I just washed it out and I sprayed it so it can smell good and don't smell like, old flowers and dirt.
For sure.
But basically, we have a bunch of topics or themes in here, and you just have to tell us your top 5 of them. So,
And they're all music related.
yes.
Okay.
It's not going to be like, what's your top 5 favorite food?
Okay,
Yeah.
for sure.
So go ahead and
Let's see.
mix it up really well.
Let's
Hopefully you don't grab something somebody else has already done.
For
So I'm just
real.
going to take it away.
Top 5 overrated artists. I can't even do this one for real because I can't think of overrated artists because artists like. Thank you.
Like, I ain't even gonna fight it.
Female singers. There we go. All right. Female singers. Oh, man.
Do it right.
Top 5.
Okay. All right. So, is this just of all time?
Yeah.
Okay. So, definitely Anita Baker. Anita
Okay.
Baker's definitely in there.
Okay.
1.
Whitney Houston.
Period.
Beyonce for sure.
Period.
2 more.
2 more. Y'all grilling me a little bit. I love Minnie Riperton. I like her music a lot. I know Lovin' You was a phenomenal song.
Old school.
Of
Yes,
course.
raised you right.
I was always in the house with, some old school vibe.
Yeah.
And the last one, of all time, this is hard. The last one is always the hardest one.
I got one in my head, but I don't want to say
You
it.
don't want to say it? Okay.
I want to hear what you're going to say.
I will say... I'm going to say Rihanna because I love her music and she's very versatile. She'll switch it up. She'll do rock. She'll do R&B. She'll do rap. So I'm gonna give it to Rihanna for sure.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
Adele?
True.
Jill Scott?
I like Adele. I love Adele,
Jill
actually.
Scott.
Jill Scott?
Oh, Jill Scott. Yeah.
SZA.
These are like
You
top
love
5.
some Brandy.
Not with the... SZA's good. She still has some growing to do for me. I want to see how far her voice can go. But Brandy,
I felt that. See, you putting me on the spot. We supposed to be family. You supposed to be
I don't
giving me
know.
these
I'm helping
updates.
you.
Like,
I'm adding to
you
your
helping
list.
me out there already. Put myself on the
I
spot.
can't give you the answers. These are your answers.
Okay, all right.
I think you're the only person I know who really likes Brandy.
You really have to hear the artistry of what Brandy can do when you take the music away. You know these little TikTok things? I know y'all seeing it now, where there's the like speaker and you can only hear the vocals.
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just listen to her.
I'm like, no.
Okay, well I'll show her when we get home. But listen to her vocals.
Yeah.
And just hear what she can do. That's all her. That's not her stacking her vocals and everything. She got a master class with freaking Mariah Carey now. Mariah's helping her learn her song, and you just hear Brandy as like a student and just learn it, but she knows how to pick it up. So
For sure.
a lot of people don't give her credit that she should get, but
Okay.
Yeah, I still see her as Moesha and Cinderella.
that's the problem. Listen to Full Moon. You grown now. Listen to Full Moon or Never Say Never.
Okay.
Play it all the way through. I don't have to skip anything.
Well, King Melik, it was great having you on. Do you want to tell the fam where they can find you? Social, Spotify, Apple Music?
For sure, you guys can find me at anywhere. The King Melik, TheKingMelik. It's not MALIK. It's MELIK. My parents wanted it to be a little bit different, so MELIK for sure.
I sure was sounding that out as Melik. I was like,
Melik.
Me too,
Yeah.
because my cousin's name is Malik, and he
Yeah,
spells
so
it
it's
MALIK.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
what is he doing? I'm like, oh, okay, well maybe. Brianna's like, I think it's Malik. I said, okay.
They knew I was going to be different, so they gave me a different name. So,
Period.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love
Out
it.
the womb.
Love it. Well, that is a wrap. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 1. I'm your girl, Brianna.
And I'm your girl, Kamari. And make sure you stay tuned for the rest of the season because it's going to be a good one.
Yes.
It's lit.
See you guys.
King Melik just had a great conversation and interview with my friends at All in the Fam. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on their YouTube page. Follow them on Spotify and listen to them on Apple Music.